Hello and welcome. Where I'm going to try for the first time ever a live stream on YouTube. So obviously we've just started the channel the last few days, so I haven't got many followers. There's probably not a lot of people going to be coming and joining us, but it's just basically to test things out and obviously to bring the big breaking news as of sort of the last 15-20 minutes, half an hour, that it looks as though Lionel Messi is now staying at Barcelona. He done an interview with Goal earlier today, and it looks as though he's pretty much put things out for definite and how he's feeling about it. So just to sort of have a quick look at what he said, he says that he will stay. He doesn't really want to stay, it seems, but he will be staying. He's talked about how he doesn't want to go to court with Barcelona. He feels that wouldn't really be beneficial for him. He doesn't feel that it would be beneficial for him to go to court. He doesn't want to take Barcelona to court. He's told his children that he wanted to leave, and he told his wife, and he says that obviously the children didn't want to leave, didn't want to leave schools and that there, but he felt that he needed a new challenge. He says that he wanted to look further afield. He wanted to compete in the Champions League. He says you can win or you can lose, but it's a difficult competition. But he wanted to at least be competing, which he felt that hasn't been happening in Rome, Liverpool, Lisbon. So he feels that he had an agreement with the president, Bartomeu. He says, I thought and was sure that I was free to leave. The president always said that at the end of the season I could decide if I stayed or not. Now they cling to the fact that I did not say it before June the 10th, when it turns out that on June the 10th we were competing for La Liga in the middle of this awful coronavirus, etc. So yeah, it seems that he feels let down by Bartomeu, which it's probably not a surprise to anyone that he would feel that way, given the way the president has run the club in recent times. It's obviously it's going to be an interesting situation as to what's going to happen over the next period of time. Is he going to what way are the club? What way is Ronald Koeman going to take the news? Obviously, yes, he's the club captain. He's the player that the club and the players in the dressing room are supposed to be looking up to, and obviously, he's had this rather public falling out. One thing that I find quite interesting, and one thing I find quite surprising about the whole situation, and sort of like, obviously we don't know for definite exactly how things have worked out, but one thing that is interesting to me is the situation that Bartomeu sort of released some information last week that if Messi would stay, he would resign. So obviously now it's been decided that Messi is going to stay. So in hindsight, it kind of looks like, why did he not, call him out in that? Why not? Why not say to him, like, if you're going to actually make this happen, if you're going to make me stay at the club, leave. I would have liked to have seen that happen. I think that would have been probably in the best interest of the club, which ultimately, whether it's Messi, whether it's Bartomeu, at the end of the day, Barcelona is going to continue after them, and whether they both leave soon, whether they both leave within the next couple of years, the club's going to be there and what's best for the club. But as it stands, it seems that he is going to stay for now. What would have happened in the court case, nobody really knows. But what I feel is, if obviously, but it seems that from Messi's contract, from what Messi's saying, it does say specifically in the contract the 10th of June, which I feel that if it had have been worded differently, things might have been different. Certainly, if it says in his contract that he was allowed to leave at the end of the season, or If he had X amount of days to leave before to inform the club before the end of the season, if he had X amount of days before the next season started, that he had to tell the club. It seems that from Messi's statement that it probably did say the 10th of June, so it kind of did leave him up against it legally. And you're looking at probably going to court and then possibly, rising up through several levels of court and then possibly even as far as the Court of Arbitration for Sports. He does have 1 year left on his contract, so it might just be a case of he can just leave now. He knows that it would take at least a year, so he may as well wait until then and leave at that point. But at this stage, the news is that he is going to stay, see out the season. Whether he might sign for someone in January from his 6 months within at the end of his contract, he can sign for someone else. Who that is, obviously Man City looks like they're the favourites with Guardiola, but there's certain people. Obviously, there's going to be elections at Barcelona, and there's certain people who are trying to line up Xavi Hernandez as the next Barcelona manager. And obviously, Xavi and Messi have had a close relationship in the past, and some people have reported that Messi wanted Xavi to take the job instead of Koeman at the moment. So whether that changes things for Messi, we don't know. Obviously, it would probably be in the best interest for the club at this stage if Messi waits to see what happens in those elections before he makes his decision, rather than just decide, no, I want to leave now, I want to go, and sign a pre-contract agreement with somebody come January. But obviously, there's no guarantee that he's going to do that. But with Messi staying, obviously, it does raise some other issues. Like, is he going to now turn up to training? He obviously has to do his tests and stuff. There's the COVID test, and then there's the usual sort of health checks that they always do before they start the pre-season. That'll be obviously interesting to see, how soon that happens. I imagine there's going to be some sort of line of communication from the club or the Messi camp at some stage to say, what's happening from here. But obviously these things are going to work out themselves. The story has obviously been developing for, I'm sure it must be over a week now since he first kind of broke the news that he was wanting to leave the club. I'm not expecting anything, too quick, but obviously with the short turnaround in season this year, he's probably, if he was wanting to be at Barcelona this season, he's going to have to get to training, back to training as soon as possible. Where the manager season fitting in, whether the manager wants to maybe have some conversations with him before he makes any decisions, and just how committed he is to the club this season. Will remain to be seen. And as I say, obviously it's a developing story, so we don't really know for definite exactly how it's going to work out. But obviously here at the channel, we'll strive to bring you that information as soon as we can. But just to reiterate, the news at the minute is Lionel Messi looks set to stay at Barcelona. He's done a statement, says basically put the president, he's put him over the coals, and I don't think anybody's going to sideway the president in that argument, because he's been nothing but a disaster for Barcelona as a football club. Messi's obviously been a real asset over the years, but just because he says he's staying, it doesn't mean it's over now. There's obviously, there's going to be a bit of damage done with everything that's happened. And, there's been damage done at Barcelona over the last 5 years from above. And, they've still won trophies. So it's now going to be up to the manager. It's going to be up to the players, to try and get this thing on track. It looks as though, as I say, staying in this, there's more developments, which is obviously very possible. But for now, it's over to the club, over to the dressing room, players and staff to figure out how Barcelona move forward from here. And obviously, as soon as we see anything, we'll bring that to you. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.